Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our social media platforms at Fino Boxing. You can follow my personal social media at Adriana_sports. Enjoy.
You want to fight the best. Do you also hope that maybe some of the younger fighters will follow your lead and participate in fights where the best are fighting the best? Do you hope the fighters will look at you as an example?
Yeah, being an example, especially not not to be a trash talk, no trash talk in before the fight like that. I want because I want to put boxing and fighters to be high esteem and with respect from the fans and the people. That's what I want to put in the minds of the people, of the fans, that boxers should be respected to the respected by the people, and that's what we want to show it. We are a fighter in the ring. We entertain people. We do our best to entertain people, our best, and then. But outside boxing, be an inspiration and give honor and respect so that people will respect you and in a high esteem.
Manny, do you think not fighting for 2 years was perhaps the greatest thing that could have happened to you to let you rest, or do you feel that you might have that kind of break at this stage of your career was too much?
It's good for me because, like I said, I've been in boxing. I was started boxing since I was 12 years old, and then that moment and until now it's continue. There's no break. So it just happened that there's a pandemic, and then I get a chance to have a breakout for 2 years.
So with Terrence Crawford, Ryan Garcia, Conor McGregor, there's so many names. I think you probably took the hardest test you could have taken. Why? What else is there left for you to prove in this point of your career?
This is not about to prove. I already proved my ability in boxing, but boxing is my passion. I love to be there. I love to fight and to entertain people. It's my passion, really passion.
Did you see the Conor McGregor fight yesterday?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh, we already believe that Dustin Poirier will win.
Would you still want to fight Conor McGregor, considering he's lost twice already to Poirier?
I don't know.
Senator, you got to see ERROL Spence up close. I know you have, but that was a few years ago. How does he look? Does he look taller? Does he look heavier? How do you size him up, ERROL Spence?
He looks taller than me, but I used to it. I used to fight a taller than me, so it's not new. That can bother me.
Antonio Margarito has been the biggest opponent you've faced in your career at 154 pounds. Do you consider Spence to be problematic like Margarito, or do you think it'll be a little bit easier for you?
It's not kind of. I'm not problematic with this, but it's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate because he's a southpaw. Both of us southpaw, so I have to make sure that my strategy is accurate and perfect for his style.
Are you approaching this fight as if it's going to be your final fight?
It's hard to say. It could be a final fight, or there are more. It could be one at a time. I can say one at a time right now.
Is the plan for you to win, retire, and run for president of the Philippines?
How do you know?
Just kidding. Manny, Dustin Poirier, after his win yesterday, announced that you and him are doing charity, Manny Pacquiao Foundation. You're building homes in Uganda. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a good thing to partner with Dustin Poirier and Justin Rain. We build houses, free housing in Uganda to give shelter to these less fortunate families, and charity, charity helping people.
Manny, you have the WBA belt behind you. Did you get any closure on that subject yet?
The WBA?
Yeah.
Well, I am a champion, and I'm out of the races right now, so.
What are your thoughts on the state of boxing and all of the championship belts? There's been a lot of conversation. A lot of the big names and fighters have not liked the fact with all the championship belts. Considering what you just went through with the WBA, what are your thoughts on the state of boxing and all of the belts?
Being a fighter for more than 25 years, I always respect the every organization. Um, I respect how they handle the organization and how they support the boxers, and I respect their decision. My part, my role is to fight and to prepare and to fight and get a championship belt.
Over the last 2 years, how often every week would you work out, and what's the most that you weighed at any point in the last few years?
What, I love workout. Um, since a tournament fight, I never went to boxing ring or at the gym, but I always exercise playing basketball because in my house I have a basketball court. So almost every day, very competitive game always with my brother because there's a prize. There's a prize, so it's gonna be hard game in basketball. Like we play like we played every day like 4 hours, 3 hours a day. So
How much would you? What do you think the most you weighed since the Thurman fight in those 2 year period? 150, or did you ever get over 150, 160, something like that?
maybe 150, 152, 151 like that.
What was it about Spence as a person? I mean, you talked about the lack of smack talk, that you don't want that. Did you look at him as a human being and say, I like this guy, I like what he brings to the sport, and that's why I want him to be my opponent?
Yeah, he's a respectful person, and that's what I want. That's what we want, and that's what I want for a fighter to be respected by the people, respected by the fans, respected by the other fighters. And we as fighters, we have our job in the ring. We perform, so we did our rules as a fighter. All of us, both fighters has a goal to win the fight, and then we do our best. And after that, make sure that you can be an inspiration to everybody.
Hey Manny, what does Earl do best in the ring? What does Earl Spence do best in the ring?
Being a fighter, an aggressive fighter, throwing a lot of punches. So
Since Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford don't want to fight each other, are you just going to fight Terrence Crawford after this and show him how it's done?
one at a time.
One at a time? Was the Terrence Crawford close to happening? How close was that fight to actually happening?
Yeah, almost.
Close but no cigar, huh?
No cigar.
Do you remember the first time you ever heard of Errol Spence? When we talked to him in 2019, he said he wanted to fight you. Do you remember the first time you heard of him? And what did you think of him calling you out? What did you think of his fight style then? When did you first become aware of Errol Spence?
When he said that after his fight in what was that? And in Texas, I think. Texas. I can say possible. It's possible.
During this time, he mentioned that the negotiations were very easy for you. What were must-have things you wanted? What was important to you about this fight? Why was this the one for you to choose when so many people are chasing you?
It's easy to negotiate with Errol Spence because we are the same management. So the negotiation is not hard for us.
When you look at some of his other victories, do you have a victory of his or a performance of his that you've enjoyed, that you've seen him participate in? Do you have a fight that you think was his best win?
I think the important here with to fight with him in our fight is more we can see a lot of action in the ring. That's I think the people want and to see a action fight in the ring.
Manny, obviously Errol had the very big car accident, and he said he was about 80% in his last fight with Danny Garcia. Did you notice a lesser version of himself?
First thing that before I answer that, when I heard that the accident, I'm shocked, and then when I saw the car that he drove, oh, it's like, what? Like I'm so shocked. And then thank God that he's alive and he recovered like that. So I told him that, you know, you have to thank God for another life. God save you for a purpose, and giving you second life for a purpose. I think he will realize that be an inspiration to everybody.
But did you think he looked a little less than his full strength in the Garcia fight? Do you think he still is at 100%?
He still have that passion. He still have the strength and the style.
How much different are you training in preparation for Keith Thurman than you'll be training for Errol Spence? How much different is your camp in preparation for these fights?
I think it's the same. The same.
You're not doing anything different?
I mean, the intensity is the same, more than, but the style is different. Because he's southpaw and yes.
Manny,
Definitely, the style is different.
how has sparring been going? I talked to your sparring partners. You hit very hard.
Yeah, we did the sparring, two guys, and they're bigger than me, so it's good. It helped a lot.
Do you go easy on sparring partners? Do you take it easy on them?
No, you have to make sure that all you want to do is you're doing in the sparring and training, so that you can show your best in the fight.
Manny, what do you make of Julio Cesar Chavez picking you to beat Errol Spence?
Huh?
What do you make of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. picking you to beat Errol Spence?
Oh, thank you. Julio Cesar Chavez is one of my favorite fighter in the world. Since 1990s, I always watch his fight. 1990, before I became a boxer.
That's beautiful, man. But, you know, I need to know, do you still have a dog named Thurman? Is the dog, huh? Do you still got the dog, huh? My doctor has a dog. I go to her office every week, and the dog's name is Manny. After you. Because of her ex-husband, he's half Filipino. He named the dog Manny. They got divorced, but she's stuck with Manny. So I see little Manny all the time. Hey. Good luck to you, my man.
Tell us now, who wins?
I favor Spence, man. You know, we're big. Everything he does is a challenge. This man loves challenges. That's what makes him one of the greatest fighters. You heard him constantly say, I want to make a great fight. And I almost felt like he says action, action, action. And the last time he didn't get action was Adrian Broner. And I know when he walked out of that ring, he knew he won, but he was sad because he felt like he disappointed the fans. After that, he's fighting Keith Thurman. After that, he's fighting ERROL Spence Jr. No matter where he is in his life, this man loves a challenge. He's a real warrior, a real fighter. He was raised in this, bred in this, and he wants the best till the day he's done. He doesn't want to be in a training camp to fight anybody. He wants to be in a training camp to fight the best in the world, and that's very admirable.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Manny, everybody you fought is retired.